I am Chi Vital, aka King Chi, and I am back with another tool for your toolkits, a special edition for Venus Rising Friday, and we're going to talk about love. I am going to share a very particular spread of advice for the collective and what is going on energetically for the collective when it comes to love and the chemistry necessary for you all to be successful in what it is that you're asking for. All right? Because Venus knows. Venus is telling. So don't forget to thumbs up this video. Can you all hear me clearly? Because I figured I don't have to yell. The mic is pretty strong. Peace, Lottie Shy. Peace to Hootie Faye. Don't forget to thumbs up this video. Okay? Welcome back. Welcome back. Peace, Black Venusian. Please, Peace, Neptune's Owl. And thank you for giving me that feedback. I did ask a question, right? Okay. All right. So, as you all know, tomorrow, I told y'all mark your calendars for August 19th. Our girl, our goddess, I hear you, our goddess, Venus, will be rising from the underworld tomorrow as the morning star. And of course, with you all being attuned to this vibration, I spoke to you all and explained that this energy as it comes through is like warrior goddess, but also very outward, external, action oriented. And what has been coming to me was to look into what is the collective experiencing and to explain to you some things that are very important, as Venus also speaks to your victory, so your success. I've been sitting with you all's pictures, especially those of you, obviously those of you who submitted your request to be a part of the open road ritual, and receiving a lot of desire to connect and to get beyond certain things that seem a little unclear. The other thing has been to have been the desires to be able to really cultivate a spark that has occurred. And I'll go into that. So this is for the collective. Take from it what you receive that will be beneficial to you. And if you're interested, after you've heard all of what I have to share, then you can hit me up. Okay? And yes, I let the Nazis out today. Okay? The girl got hang time. But I was feeling my ponytail. It'll be back. We have to name her. We have to name her. Peace, 3K. Thank you, Erika. Thank you so much. Okay. So the first words that came through for the collective were that the individual that you are interested in, because I have information for those of you who are already in a situation, who are just now getting acquainted, and for those of you who are just open. You're open to what the universe has for you. Okay? The first thing that I love about what's happening for the collective is that the individual that you are connected with, and I'm going to say connected with for everyone, because at this point it's already in the now. is that their vision is set on a future, not tomorrow, not months from now, but really developing a solid foundation for creating family. The energy is that when two people come together and go beyond friendship into becoming intimate as lovers, intimate in a relationship, even if you haven't crossed over into that aspect of the relationship yet, which might be a very good thing as I'm going to go into it, is that when two people come together, the potential for family is absolutely certain. The potential for expansion is absolutely certain. So whether the goal is to have a bunch of children or for you all to build out some type of business that is fruitful for generations to come, it's important that when you come across this kind of individual, whether it's yourself, it's really you all feel this way about who you're looking for, right? But whether it's yourself or the other person, it's important to keep in mind that how you begin is how you may end. So if you have a desire for this energy to actually build and expand, you want to be very clear about the foundation. Now, this goes for any relationship, but not everyone wants to be in a long-lasting familial type relationship. This energy speaks to this collective. That's why I'm focusing in on that, okay? This love that you all are looking to cultivate is very much tied to what your legacy is. And when we speak of legacy, legacy is not just the beautiful external expression of what happens when two families come together to create a larger family, okay? Remember yesterday I said that y'all have to recognize that when you step into the room, you are not alone. You're not alone. So when two individuals come together, you absolutely are not alone. Two families are coming together, okay? Press 1 if you understand that concept, whether or not you even bang with your family. Your family that's seen and unseen comes into this connection, okay? With that, you want to not only pay attention to what you all communicate with each other as to what the values are and what the goals are for the legacy, but you want to also pay attention to their relationship with their family. If their relationship with their family is shaky, it's not like you need to bolt, okay? But you would need to pay attention to some of those same storylines or energetics in the way that person approaches you and approaches your family. If you come into the situation and you have particular things going on with your connection to your family, be the bigger, more evolved individual and take that seriously. And let your mate or your potential partner know that you are actively engaged in healing any of the things that have happened between you and your family and how you want to establish family moving forward. There are many people who have come from very dysfunctional backgrounds who, with awareness and intention, have been able to transform those types of exchanges to have better outcomes, okay? So please don't meet, and right now this is very clear that don't just meet someone and decide like, oh, they're so cool, they're so kind, they're so loving, and just take it at face value that their relationship with their family does not matter, because it absolutely does in this story. Okay, for the collective. Now, I did tell y'all that it's a beautiful story, but the other piece of why I want you to really take it seriously now, as you've gone through so much refinement, the person you're connected to, whether this is, remember, this can be a person that you're about to connect with, a person that you're already with, or even a person that you're connected to because you all have each other on your minds. Something could have happened and y'all aren't necessarily together right now, but that line is still there. This is where we look at a karmic connection, but the advice that comes forward is there's been a lot of good luck in this connection. There's been a lot of ups that happen from this connection. There's been a lot of progress. And for those of you, when you get connected in the physical to the person you already aligned with, bear in mind that when luck strikes in a certain way and you are with someone, that you can see how your legacy is going to be built. You can see how this individual plays a major role in what it is that you want for your empire, not to take it for granted. A lot of times, which sounds crazy, but it happens all the time, is that the people who have the best possible outcomes for their relationship, because the energy, the things they're into, even how they look, their philosophies on life, they align. Because there's so much alignment, those people can tend to kind of like take for granted the goodness that is present. And for that reason, it's kind of like, well, I already know, like, this individual really, really loves me, so I can just do whatever it is that I want to do, and that person will be there. Or not intentionally, right? But get really busy, and I'm about to talk about that, and just not be intentional about also making room for spending time with that person. Okay, I see here that there are folks struggling with trying to figure out, like, how is it that I bring so much to this connection and everything seems like this is how it's supposed to be, but we're not connecting, like we're not in the same spaces with each other. It's like all of these potential moments for us to be together, but somehow it's not happening. Something else always takes precedence, and that's because there's an aspect of, like, it's too good to be true, but the facts are it is so good it is true, and don't take it for granted. Pay attention to the value in connecting in those moments, because those moments are destined. Those moments are karmic. Those moments have a lot of power points in them. They're not just what's the word? Like, they're not happenstance. They're not coincidental. They are purposeful. Okay? They're purposeful by design, by divine plan. Okay? And when you go against that, what happens to someone who has a really great strike of good luck, and then they take it for granted? The smackdown is very hurtful. The result of taking someone for granted and mishandling them hurts a lot, because there's like a soul connection. There's like an entire generation and legacy that disappears when that connection is broken, and it's hard to get that individual off of your mind. Okay, so bear in mind, this is a karmic connection. This is like, some of y'all may be getting back, right, with someone. Why? Because like I said, that cycle of connection with that person, whatever BS happened between y'all to make y'all do this, is cycling back to say, okay, here's where I took this individual for granted, and I didn't even explain like where I was emotionally and what was going on with me. I might have just gotten quiet or got busy and assumed because they didn't pressure me, or assumed that because, you know, they responded negatively to my falling back, that I didn't really feel how I really feel. Some of y'all gonna have to just stop trying to play super hard and communicate. This is how I really feel. This is what I experienced. And you may have to be the person to open up that communication. Okay? So if you're afraid to apologize, if you know you're the person who took things for granted and you just kind of like, you know, F it, I don't care, took that approach, I mean, you got to deal with that for yourself. And by the looks of this, you do deal with it. You do deal with it quietly, you know, or keeping your stride and your pride. But when no one else is around, especially in here, you're playing it, you're replaying it. So let's not have to keep replaying a situation that could have gone really well, because you was playing it or playing with it. So this brings me to how it's very important that when it comes to this type of relationship that you all as a collective are pulling in, long-lasting relationships that can thrive for the long haul, for a long time, there's two types of grace that they come with. They come with a grace period, and they come with grace period. Okay? The grace allows you to pipe down, because this energy is coming through, is, remember, bam, in your face, right? But pipe down before you wreck yourself. Don't be assuming anything. Ask questions, stay curious, and communicate, again, what your desires are, what you would like to see, and then pay attention. The grace period is there for the long-lasting relationships, because when we're in that fast and furious energy, as quickly as things speed up and get hot and heavy, and it's like, this really works, and y'all, it can burn out, and you are too clouded by passion. And there's passion available here, right? But this is that slow buildup. Not slow like takes forever, but a slow buildup that allows you not to be clouded by the passion, but to have clear vision on checking in. Did I communicate what it is that I desire? Did I communicate through my actions that I will reciprocate the things that I say I desire and respect it? Now, once you take your time with that, because y'all are gonna feel a lot, like, y'all gonna feel more energy building up, right? Don't run into anything. Don't run. Walk at a happy pace. Walk at a happy pace so that you can understand more about what's happening when you're not around. Briskly stroll. Okay? Yes, a happy stroll. This speaks to one or you or the other person actually is very, very busy. They're literally busy to the point of overwhelm. And for this kind of individual, they retreat when they're in overwhelm and trying to make sure that everything is taken care of, and they don't know how to be in relationship to anyone else when they're under this much pressure without being hard to be around. Because I don't know if you all have experienced it, but it's like, you ever been with someone and you yourself have a lot of things to do. You might have like papers you have to write, you might have orders you have to fill, you might have music to produce, and your mind is like, I gotta get this done, gotta get this done, gotta get this done. And then you're with this person and they're not doing anything wrong but wanting your attention. And before you realize that you're around this person but you're totally somewhere else, you snap like, I'm right here though, right? And you're right here next to the person, but they can feel that you are somewhere else, and your body is so rigid that they feel repelled, and they feel as if they are invading your space if they try to create some type of softness in the situation. And before you know it, the person really is like, damn, I really love this person, and I don't exactly know what's up with them. Or that can be you, like, okay, like this time together does not feel like quality time. Okay, this time together now feels like I'm trying to be close to a person who doesn't want to be close. And this brings me to the final word of advice. Okay, I see the word clingy in here, right? Some people jump to the conclusions that who they are in relationship with or getting to date, that the individual is being clingy. And sometimes those individuals are absolutely not being clingy. They are actually showing up how they should in order to back up what it is that they say they feel about you in your connection. But when there is poor communication or self-awareness, that affection that is being shared can be taken for granted. And you, if you are that person that did not communicate clearly and give yourself a sit down, you may have realized, this bed is pretty cold, I'm not feeling this, and everyone else that I meet, it's like smoke but no cigar. Like, this ain't it. And now I'm wondering if I was really supposed to be with that clean motherfucker. Okay, so that's one. The other part of it, right, is that that other person may have exited stage left, or you may have been the other person and you exited stage left, and it's because you realized your worth as a person. So I'm speaking to you. So regardless of which position you played, I want you to always keep in mind that when we're looking at a relationship that is going to last for a long time and be so fruitful that a legacy is built and sustained, it does not matter all the things that the world is demanding of you. You will absolutely have to make time to let the person know what's going on with you, invite them in if they can help you, or offer your services if you can be of assistance. Show gratitude, okay? Show gratitude. And be clear about what your worth is. And acknowledge the person's worth. Because this is not about one person is more worthy than the other. This speaks to a collaborative connection where both people bring a network together. Both people bring families together. Both people bring talent, skill sets, personalities that work. Okay? They work if there's some grace there, some acknowledgement of self-worth. So if you have gone through all of these steps and you said, hey, you know, I've reached out, I've let you know that I have a desire to spend space with you, connect, build, and we're clear that you're very busy and I'm very busy, but we also agreed to be intentional about this time and space with one another, and you show up but that person doesn't show up, then you have to tune into your self-worth and stand your ground. Stand your ground. It does not mean you need to go running away, because nothing about this advice that came up is about moving very fast. Stand your ground for that grace period. And the grace period is as long as you deem reasonable. Okay? And if you maintain that, what is in alignment with your self-worth and your commitment to legacy and building, right? And prioritizing the type of individual that you see as someone you can build with, then it's okay to stand your ground and let them show you that they got it. Okay? If you all bang with this, share. Let me get some hearts and gems in the chat. There was one example that came to mind as I was walking to my office that I wanted to share with you all, that I think will be helpful to your self-love and to learning how to be graceful. Because being graceful is very attractive. Like, there's not too many people that like for someone to kind of like Fred Flintstone bang them over the head with, I want you now, and that's what I like, let's do this. Like, not too many people really bang with that. And when it comes to relationships that have longevity and the things I'm talking about for legacy, folks respect you taking a good hard look at what's on the table. The same way is when you're really loving yourself, right? My example is, I realized today, it's a habit now, right? But when I feel hunger, I don't eat immediately. I acknowledge the hunger. And if it comes with a craving for something in particular, I take note of it, but I don't even go get that thing immediately. Okay? In the time that I take to acknowledge that I'm hungry, but I don't run to feed myself immediately, I spare myself from eating fast food just to fill the void. I spare myself from eating something that is momentarily going to be satisfying, but not going to be good for how I need the rest of my day to go energetically. And let's say I have a craving, and it's a good one. Like sometimes I'm craving Ethiopian food, and that's always great, right? Instead of going and rushing to go get it, I pay attention to what I have going on, so that when I get this food, I can sit down and really enjoy it. And I have more of a connection with my stomach, right? And the brain that's in my gut. And it's a real loving relationship of control, right? Checks and balances. Because most people eat pretty shitty when they don't put some grace in between the craving and fulfilling that craving. And the same goes with most people who have an uncontrolled sexual appetite. Don't put some space in between when they're feeling horny and the person that they call next. People who are consistently in short relationships don't put some space in between that longing to connect with someone and opening up the door to connect. All of these things all reside within the same spaces. So give yourself some grace. Give your partner, your mate, some grace. And no matter what the outcome is, because this is a collective spread, no matter what the outcome is, you're not going to get what you want by being pushy and combative. It's not in the cards for us here, you guys. You're not going to get what you want by being pushy and combative. Because in that essence, you don't truly recognize that person's worth either. Okay? That's an attitude of superiority. And that's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at karmic connections that are mutually compatible. Okay? So if you're interested in a personal love spread, you can text me at 202-1876, 202-810-1876, 202-810-1876. I have two other things happening. I am doing love spells for tonight in this waxing moon on a Friday, as Venus is moving through into her active state. Okay, I'm doing a sale, so it's more than half price. I'll tell you that much. It's about like a third of the price. And if you're interested in a Saraswati Yantra locket, text me for that as well. I have a limited amount on hand, and if you want them, it's going to be first come, first serve. I won't be holding any for anyone, but those two will be at a highly discounted price. All right? So you heard it here. Hit me up at 202-810-1876 if you're interested in a love spell. If you're interested in a Saraswati locket, and anything else for a personal consultation. Okay? Peace, love, and bliss, family. I'll catch up with y'all. Have a happy, dope, delicious weekend. And don't set nothing on fire, but be fire. All right. Peace.